Hi, we are Group 7 and we will present our ideal school of the future. Let's start. As it is well known, no educational system is perfect, but we can get closer to that perfection when we want students to feel good about themselves, when they learn things that they can use throughout their lives, when we guide them to become autonomous, and when they do things to pleasure and not out for obligation. We believe that these are the most important aspects that traditional schools should change. In our ideal school, instead of being authoritarian and forcing children to see subjects that can demotivate them to the point of losing their curiosity to learn, we would have a quality education that detects early the needs and potential of the students with the purpose to ensure that everyone reaches the maximum possible development of all their individual and social, intellectual, cultural, and emotional capacities. And this means that it would be a school where each student, with the guidance of a teacher, takes the autonomy of their study and knowledge. For example, a student who has talent or passion for the arts can develop them and enhance his artistic performance. Or a student with an affinity for mathematics can develop his numerical skills to show his potential. All this could be achieved by the following things.
The school will be for students from preschool to high school. The idea is to prepare them in a suitable way so they can face the part of higher education in a good way. We believe that anyone could enter our school, and given the socioeconomic situation of the country, it seems to us that low-income students should have preference. To have more pleasant atmosphere, the school will be located in the country area so that students will have contact not only with the academic parts but also with the nature. In addition to that, we would like to implement the Montessori method in the design of the school, since the Montessori classrooms brings together children of 4 different ages: under 3 years old, from 3 to 6 years old, from 6 to 9 years old, and from 9 to 13 years old. The integrated rooms favor spontaneous cooperation, the desire to learn, mutual respect, and deep incorporation of knowledge through the exercise of teaching others. For students over the age of 13, there are classrooms focused on the skills and abilities they want to develop on. On the other hand, we will implement the Montessori materials, since these were scientifically designed in an experimental context within the classroom, paying special attention to the interests of children according to the evolutionary stage in which they are, and with the conviction that the manipulation of objects concretes will help the development of knowledge and abstract thinking. These materials allow children to investigate and explore independently. They allow repetition, which promotes concentration and long-term learning. They have the quality of isolating difficulties, that is, each one introduces a single variable, a single new concept, isolating it, and leaving the other concepts unchanged. The materials have error control, so this is that the same material is the one that shows the child if he is using it correctly. In this way, children know that error is part of the learning process. They manage to establish a positive attitude towards it and take responsibility for their own learning and develop self-confidence.
Now we're going to talk about the materials and curriculum, and for that we want to mention Maria Montessori. So the Montessori method of education tries to make natural and fun the development process. This is going to be through specific materials and environments. It's for children to be naturally curious. The Montessori method is going to include the practical life, the sensorial life, the language, mathematics, and culture. And there is going to be like 3 characteristics of the, of all the Montessori method. So the first one is going to be the control of error. So each Montessori material is designed with a visual control of error. That means that the child can easily see and correct their own mistakes because, for example, the pieces are not going to fit or are not going to be complete. The second characteristic is there is going to be a progression of order. So that means the materials and like all the method is going to be from easiest to hardest. So for example, it's going to be from left to right, from up to down. So there's going to be a logical structure, and that is going to encourage the children to organize their thinking process. And the third characteristic is going to be the fine motor skills. So Montessori say that the children first learn through their hands. So we're going to incorporate both gross and fine motor skills, and because that is going to be crucial to a balanced approach to each childhood education, and that is going to incorporate like all the aspects of life that we mentioned before. So that's like social, physical, mental, and emotional through the practical life, sensorial, language, math, and culture.
So we will have 3 teaching techniques. The first one will be dialogue, that is based on Freire's theory. So the knowledge construction will be between student and teacher, and the students can be active actors in their own learning processes. The second one will be autonomous work. This is based on Montessori's theory. So all the teaching technique will be guide the students around the fact that they can become autonomous and independent human beings. So we're going to teach them practical skills like cooking for themselves and taking care of themselves, how to save, how to buy, how to make money, and things like that. Real things that can help them to be independent. And the third one will be communities participation. This is also based on Freire's theory. We would like to let the communities have the voice and vote in deciding what they should think that students might be learning.
For evaluative system and assessment, we realize that today's evaluative system has a lot of problems. It's partial and selective. It might not take into account a lot of variables at the moment that you're presenting your evaluation, like anxiety, stress, or time. It does not measure the student's real potential. So we decided not to make evaluations or quizzes not into specific dates.
So we're going to be giving them practical activities where they will let us know if they're learning, what kind of concepts they're using, if they're really in that path of really having a critical opinion and shaping their own way to see the world. So also they will have the possibility of using different kind of tools. They can use internet, they can use the teacher's help and the other students' help and opinion. And evaluations will be used, but only to see what kind of gaps they're having and not to define if the student passed or not the subject.
In order to accomplish this, the student's assistance will be very, very important. We're going to grade those practical activities in a scale from 1 to 10. 10 being the best and 1 being the worst.